It could have been a draw. Christek told me it was a draw.
Two judges
Yeah.
had it
10-10.
much closer. But who said it was a draw?
Christek.
Would you advise him not to do the rematch then?
From a boxing sense, absolutely. From a financial sense, if he wants another 50, 60, 70, 80 million, whatever it is, how can you say no?
I mean, looking at the fight, bro, like, it was competitive. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford, man. I don't know how many rounds I actually gave Canelo, but I want to see a rematch.
We are planning, of course, Canelo will get back to my country between February to March, something like this, for second fight.
Win or lose?
A lot of secrets and big announcement, big surprise. Maybe it will be exclusive with you and your new program, inshallah, next week.
I don't know why the result like this, but in my opinion, I will focus and I will try to do the rematch.
I was just about to say that. We know that you
They
are all
deserve
about
it.
making the
They
best fights
deserve
possible.
it. If they accept, we will do it.
Would do worse the next fight. I think he would put it on Canelo a little worse than that, because I think some of what we saw from Canelo is just what he's has to resort to now to fight.
Turki Alalshikh has confirmed that Canelo Alvarez is set to return to Saudi Arabia for a rematch with Terence Crawford in 2026. Looking at a rematch, Robert Garcia also showed interest. He stated that he would love to see a rematch and believes Canelo Alvarez has a clear path to victory over Terence Crawford. He argued that while Crawford is very talented, Canelo's superior strength and ability to take a punch would be the deciding factors for him. Garcia's advice for Canelo would be to press forward aggressively and to keep throwing punches until he lands.
He needs to make a change, I think. I would love to see the rematch. I think in the rematch, if he comes back with the hunger that he needs, he could beat Crawford. Because Crawford, is very talented, but I think Canelo could beat him. Canelo's strong, man. Canelo's strong. Canelo could take a good punch. So I think he could just go and don't respect his punch and throw punches even though you're gonna get hit, but don't give up. Keep going until you hit him.
Furthermore, Garcia stated that he believed a rematch would be highly competitive only if Canelo made significant changes to his strategy. He said that fans would still believe in the fight if those adjustments were made. However, Garcia warned that if Canelo approaches the battle the same way, people will expect the same result as the first bout.
People are talking rematch. Do you think if there is a rematch, it'll be more of the same?
I think if there is a rematch, it would be pretty challenging, and the people would still believe in it if he made those changes that I'm saying. If not, if it stays the same, then we're gonna have people are gonna think we're gonna have the same results.
Moving ahead, Terence Crawford expressed his great admiration for Canelo Alvarez, stating he has been a fan for years. He praised Canelo as a complete fighter, highlighting his exceptional balance, counter-punching, defense, and punch selection. Crawford specifically complimented Canelo's power, his devastating left hook, and his dangerous overhand right, ultimately describing him as a truly great fighter.
I'm a big fan of Canelo. I've been watching Canelo for years. I can't say one thing that he don't do good. He got great balance. He got great counter punching ability. He got great defense. He got great punch selection. He got great feints, great power, great left hook, great overhand right. He's a great fighter.
According to Eddie Hearn's perspective on a rematch with Crawford, he stated that while Canelo Alvarez is still a great fighter, he is not the same dominant force he once was. He confirmed there is likely a rematch clause in the contract, as is standard for Canelo. However, Hearn was definitive in his belief that a rematch would end the same way, stating that Crawford's style and movement are all wrong for Canelo and that he simply would not beat him.
It's like, where does he go from here after a loss to someone like Crawford?
I think a lot of it depends on how you're feeling. I don't talk to Canelo much anymore, other than a few messages now and again. So I can't tell you personally how he feels about boxing and where he's at in his life. He's a true competitor. He's nowhere near the fighter that he once was, but he's still a great fighter. I believe they have a rematch clause. I'm not sure exactly. I'm sure there's some kind of wording, because Canelo doesn't enter a fight without some kind of wording in terms of rematch clause. But he's just not going to beat Terence Crawford. It's the style's all wrong for him, the movement's all wrong for him. And that's what I said. You know, going into the fight, I really believe Crawford would win in the style that he did.
However, Hearn gave a blunt assessment, stating that from a purely boxing perspective, he would advise Canelo Alvarez not to take the rematch with Terence Crawford. Then he immediately acknowledged the financial reality, noting that it's impossible to turn down a potential $80 million payday. Despite the massive financial incentive, Hearn stated he does not believe Canelo could win the fight even if they boxed 4 or 5 times.
Would you advise him not to do the rematch then?
From a boxing sense, absolutely. From a financial sense, you know, if he wants another 50, 60, 70, 80 million, whatever it is, how can you say no? Do I think he could win the fight? No. I think they could box another 4 or 5 times. I don't think he'd win the fight.
Meanwhile, Robert Garcia suggested Canelo Alvarez needs to make a strategic change by adding a new voice to his training camp. He believed this would create positive social attention and also demonstrate that Canelo is adapting. Garcia emphasized that even a small change could make a significant difference in the outcome of a potential rematch.
If they made a few changes, you know, maybe adding somebody, you know, to camp where they're gonna come and help out, maybe change things around. I don't know, man. You know, I'm not. You know, I don't know what the way they think. I don't know how they do it, but it would probably get a little bit of attention, you know, with the media, because everybody's gonna be thinking, oh, that's it. He's never gonna, you know, he's done the last few fights the same, so we don't think he's gonna change. Maybe something else, a little change will probably make a difference.
Furthermore, Garcia praised Terence Crawford's performance against Canelo. He looked at the fight as a clear and beautiful victory, stating Crawford won most rounds while Canelo may have only won 3. He strongly disagreed with any suggestion of a draw. Moreover, Garcia said Crawford should not retire yet, but should have a rematch before ending his career.
But what do you think about the Crawford-Canelo fight?
It's a beautiful performance by Crawford.
He finished strong. He won 3 of the last 4 rounds.
Beautiful performance. He won most of the rounds. Canelo won maybe 3 rounds.
I had it much closer. It could have been a draw. Christek told me it was a draw.
2 judges had it
10-10.
much closer. But no. Who said it was a draw?
Christek,
come
here.
Come over here.
Where is he at? So, okay, Crawford wins. What does he do from here, Robert?
Retire and enjoy and be one of the best in history.
So
that's
if
it.
you were Crawford, you would retire?
Maybe give him the rematch and then retire.
According to Dan Rafael, there is no automatic rematch clause for Canelo in the contract for the Terence Crawford fight. His information from Canelo's team confirms this is absent. However, Rafael noted that Canelo has a 2-fight deal with Turki Alalshikh. If Turki decides he wants the rematch, it could still happen, but Crawford cannot be forced into an immediate second fight.
Yeah, I think there was another thing circling about potential rematch between Crawford and Canelo, but pushing on it, you know when they make these contracts a lot of the time, and obviously we know it makes a lot of money regardless, but is that something that people are going to be as best invested in?
I don't think so, and what I am told by Canelo's people is...
But Turki Alalshikh has confirmed that Canelo Alvarez is scheduled to return to Saudi Arabia for a second fight with Crawford in 2026. He revealed they have a multi-fight plan for Canelo, including at least 2 more fights in 2027. Alalshikh also promised major announcements and big surprises for the coming year. Moreover, he said there will be at least 3 major events that will be, in his words, something you cannot imagine.
We are planning, of course, Canelo will get back to my country between February to March, something like this, for second fight.
Win or lose?
Win or lose, of course. We have still 2 fights more with Canelo, and we are thinking and planning to offer for him also at least 2 fights more in 27. Let's see, we are planning to do cards maybe in January, and there is a lot of secrets and big announcement, big surprise. Maybe it will be exclusive with you and your new program, inshallah, next week for the next year. Something, at least 3 big events You cannot
Tell
imagine.
me before you tell Coppinger.
Meanwhile, Paulie Malignaggi suggested that Canelo Alvarez should not go straight into a rematch with Terence Crawford. Instead, he proposed that Canelo should first fight and decisively beat Chris Eubank Jr. after Eubank's bout with Conor Benn. Malignaggi believed a dominant win over Eubank would rebuild Canelo's mystique and self-belief, making the public see him as back and ready for a much more competitive rematch with Crawford.
If Canelo does the rematch method, I'll tell you what they should do. Not that they should do, but my personal opinion to make it better. Fight Eubank after the Benn fight. You know, I think he'll mop the floor with Eubank. And then, you know, it'll give more self-belief. You have the surgery, whatever you have to have. Beat Eubank, because now you don't have a title, so it's not like a waste of time to, you know, defend titles against Eubank. Beat Eubank, and that creates a mystique again. Like, oh, Canelo's back. He's destroyed somebody. You know, he's looking good. Now he's ready for Crawford, because you see the way his shoulder looked in this fight, the way his elbow looked in this fight. He looked great against Eubank, again, theoretically speaking. And then you sign the Crawford rematch.
After losing his fight, Canelo Alvarez gave full credit to Terence Crawford, acknowledging him as a great fighter who deserved the win. He stated that he had trained hard and tried everything he could in the ring. Ultimately, Canelo admitted that despite his best effort, he simply could not defeat Crawford's style.
We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do. Right, I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Similarly, after the fight, Canelo Alvarez expressed his interest in being open to a rematch, believing it would be another great fight. He reflected on his accomplished legacy, emphasizing that he continues to take these high-risk fights purely out of love for boxing. Despite the loss, he gave full credit to Crawford and affirmed that he still feels great and remains motivated.
I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him, and if we do it again, it's gonna be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters, and I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there, and I still taking risks because I love boxing. You know, Crawford is a great fighter, a skilled fighter, and I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
Henry Cejudo also stated in favor of Canelo about a rematch. He acknowledged that while the fight was competitive and Canelo landed some body shots, Terence Crawford was clearly in control for most of the bout. Despite the one-sided nature, Cejudo wants to see a rematch, citing Canelo's explanation that he didn't feel physically right and his body wasn't reacting properly during the fight.
I mean, looking at the fight, bro, like, it was competitive. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford, man. I don't know how many rounds I actually gave Canelo, but I want to see a rematch. I want to see a rematch because Canelo did mention, oh, I didn't feel good. Like, my body was just, it wasn't reacting. My mind wanted to, but there was something physically with my body that it just felt different. So,
from Kamaru Usman's perspective, he analyzed that Terence Crawford would likely defeat Canelo Alvarez even more decisively in a rematch. He suggested that Canelo's current fighting style, which he has used in his last 6 to 8 fights, is now a permanent pattern due to possible physical changes or past injuries. Usman pointed out that this same pattern is what previously made him vulnerable against Dimitri Bivol, and he believes this style is ineffective against Crawford's abilities.
Would do worse the next fight. I think he would put it on Canelo a little worse than that, because I think some of what we saw from Canelo is just what he's has to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile as he used to be, which I'm not counting anybody out. But from what we're seeing, it's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last, 6 to 8 fights, because that same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him. And so I just don't think the way that style of fight, I don't think he beats someone like Terence Crawford. No. And I think Terence Crawford is going to be more confident.
Moving ahead, Canelo Alvarez expressed his deep respect for Terence Crawford, acknowledging him as one of the best fighters in recent years. However, Canelo made it clear that while everyone is entitled to their opinions, his sole focus remains on going into the fight and securing a win.
Crawford, for me, is one of the best fighters in the last years, and he accomplished so much. So for me, means a lot, this win. So, and either way, for me, opinions is our opinions, and I just gonna go there and win the fight.
Looking back to the previous fight, Andre Ward praised Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez as a true greatness. He highlighted that Crawford, at 37 years old, had to fight a more dangerous and calculated fight to secure the win, proving he is the GOAT of this generation. Ward also gave credit to Canelo for taking the challenging fight and to Turki Alalshikh for making the event possible.
Andre, we just seen Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Terence Crawford, great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turki Alalshikh for putting it together. Just a great night for boxing.
Moving on, Hamza Shiraz admitted his prediction for the fight was completely wrong, giving massive credit to Terence Crawford for a dominant performance. He stated that Crawford cemented his status as one of the all-time greats in boxing. The most surprised Shiraz was that when Crawford stood his ground, dominated the clinches, and physically manhandled Canelo with ease, showing unexpected strength at the 168-pound weight class.
I was wrong, man. My prediction was so off, bro. I'm known for my predictions to be so shit, bro. Yeah,
like David Hay.
Yeah, my predictions are so off, but massive props to Crawford. Domination, and that's what it was, wasn't it? It was domination, and he looked comfortable at 168 pounds. Yeah, man, he cemented himself as one of the GOATs in boxing yet last night.
What surprised you the most by Crawford, would you say?
You know what surprised me the most? Him holding his feet and still dominating, being strong enough to exchange in the clinches, and manhandling Canelo a bit, man, turning him around like it was nothing. Yeah, that surprised me a lot.
Trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre stated that the fight unfolded exactly as they had game planned, with Canelo stepping forward and throwing wide shots just as they anticipated. Bomac admitted that while there's always tension in the corner during the fight, upon reflection, he concluded that Crawford made it look easy and was in complete control throughout the performance.
It was 100% how we thought it was going to go.
Did it?
It was 100%. Him stepping forward, him throwing the wide shots, him moving his head, him trying to fight on the inside. It went just like how we wanted it to go. That's what performance you guys got from Terence.
Was it easier than you expected? Because, I mean, he made it look easy in there. We were talking upstairs, talking about like when you're doing the little pitter-patter shots and then whamming the shots, and that means you're in total control in your comfort zone. Was it easier than you expected?
Let me tell you this, man. So, like in the corner, going through the fight, you just like, kind of like tensed up a little bit, is he doing this, is he doing that right? But after the fight was over and then you sit back and you watch the fight, yes, it was easy.
Canelo Alvarez is back in the gym, locked in and preparing for his rematch with Terence Crawford. Each punch he lands on the heavy bag echoes his determination, a reminder that his focus is fixed on one goal. In the gym, Canelo demonstrates his complete game, deftly defending from the front, alternating body shots to both the left and right sides, and showcasing the defensive skill and destructive power he plans to use against Terence Crawford in his upcoming fight. The stage is set for boxing history. With Turki Alalshikh's official confirmation, the boxing world can anticipate the monumental 2026 rematch between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in Saudi Arabia. While experts like Robert Garcia believe strategic changes could make the fight competitive, others like Eddie Hearn and Kamaru Usman remain convinced that Crawford's style is an unsolvable puzzle for Canelo. Whether this becomes a repeat of Crawford's mastery or the epic comeback Canelo envisions, one thing is certain: this rematch will define legacies, captivate millions, and once again prove why boxing is the theater of the unexpected. The countdown to 2026 has officially begun. Who do you think wins the rematch? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more expert boxing breakdowns and fight analysis.